Welcome back. All right, so the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights will square off for the first time in the playoffs, and I think we as fans are going to be very grateful for this matchup. This should be fantastic. So Vegas has home ice, but what we've seen in the playoffs is home ice doesn't necessarily mean a lot. I am sticking with my predictions, my bracket. And in my bracket, I have the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights meeting in the second round, and Edmonton winning it. Now, what makes it more of a challenge than when I picked that bracket was that it became obvious pretty quickly after that Stone was going to be back, and that does feel like it's a game changer for the Vegas Golden Knights. That being said, I'm sticking with my bracket, and I'm going with the Oilers, who beat the LA Kings 4-2, rounding out that series last night. And it was a hard-fought win. Draisaitl definitely stepped up. 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points for him. McDavid, 3 goals, 7 assists, so just 10 points in 6 games. A little off from his scoring during the regular season, but I think he'll survive. And Bouchard. Bouchard had a fantastic playoffs against the Kings. 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. The addition of Ekholm has definitely helped Bouchard take that next step. Costin, 3 goals and an assist. Evander Kane also had 3 goals and an assist in that round. Hyman, 2 goals, 2 assists. Nugent Hopkins, a little bit more muted with his scoring, but 4 assists and good solid two-way play. And Ekholm also had 4 assists. Nurse and McLeod both had 3 assists over that 6-game series. So some scoring depth there. Klim Kostin standing out, for example. McLeod standing out too. And those are the things you're going to need if you're going to go further. Now, of course, Skinner, 3-2 record, 890 save percentage. Campbell, 964 save percentage with 1 victory. And, of course, Skinner will be the starter, but we know if Campbell needs to go in, he can, and he showed that he was pretty darn good in the 1 appearance he made in the last round. The power play for the Oilers is ridiculous, 56.3%. Their penalty kill, only 66.7%, but when your power play is better than 1 out of 2, you can have an iffy penalty kill. So last year, in the second round, they won 4-1 against the Flames in the second round to get to the conference final. The last time that this team reached as far as the Stanley Cup final was 2006. The Oilers trying to get back to at least that and hoping to do something they haven't done since 1990 and win themselves the Stanley Cup. Now we look at the Vegas side of things. Vegas beat Winnipeg 4-1, and they made it look easy. After a slow start to the series, they really got it together. That being said, Chandler Stevenson, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points, continues to be one of the more underrated players in the league. And Stone, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Didn't look great in the first game that he played, but he looked fantastic after that. Karlsson, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points. One of my favorites in Vegas, William Karlsson. For years, that's been the case. And nothing has happened to change my opinion on him. Eichel, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Eichel had a slow start to that series as well. A lot of people were dunking on him with, see, Eichel's not good enough. This is just how it works. And now, Eichel looks like a playoff performer. Pietrangelo, 5 assists for Pietrangelo this season in the postseason against the Winnipeg Jets, and played really solid hockey. Howden with 2 goals, 2 assists. Amadio a goal and 3 assists, so there's scoring depth for Vegas that showed up as well. Barbashev a goal and 2 assists, and both Theodore and Smith had 3 assists. So Riley Smith still without a goal in the playoffs. I don't think that'll continue very far into round 2. And Laurent Brossoit, who got better as that round went along against the Winnipeg Jets, 915 save percentage to go with a 4-1 record. So on the Vegas side of things, it definitely looks like, everything's clicking really well. On the Edmonton side, their power play is fantastic. Special teams numbers, this is where Vegas has to change things. Their power play was 18.8%, which would be fine, but the penalty kill was only at 58.3%. It let them down against Winnipeg, and they cannot afford to put up numbers anywhere near that. Although, if they killed penalties against the Oilers at that same rate, it would drop the power play for the Edmonton Oilers from its ridiculous 56.3% perch. They went 1 for 2 last night, and that was low for them. So on the Vegas side, if they want to stay in this series, they have to stay out of the box. And when they do go to the box, they have to be able to kill it. And not only that, but Brossoit has to put up the same kinds of numbers against that Oilers crew that he did against a Winnipeg team that, let's be honest, with Winnipeg, they were kind of beat up. So the last time that the Vegas Golden Knights were in the second round, of course, was 2 years ago. Last year, they missed the playoffs in large part due to injuries. Second round, they won 4-2 against the Avalanche 2 years ago, the same team which dispatched the Oilers in the conference final last year. So there's some crossover here, just not necessarily these two with one another in the playoffs. Hasn't happened before. This should be a great series. The last time that Vegas was in the finals was 2018. That was 5 years ago. For all of the complaining about Vegas and where they're 6 years into their history. Honestly, by 6 years into their history, many expansion teams have already made the playoffs and they've already had some success in the playoffs. So we'll see if Vegas has the success in this series or the Oilers. So does the regular season matchup tell us anything? Probably not, but let's go through it anyways. They did meet 4 times. Vegas goes into Edmonton. They lose in overtime 4-3 on November 19th. McDavid had the OT winner at 117. Nurse and Draisaitl assisted on that. Then on January 14th, Edmonton went into Vegas and won 4-3. Costin had the winner at 13:57 of the second period. Then Vegas gets some measure of revenge on March the 25th, going into Edmonton and winning in overtime 4-3. Roy had the overtime winner at 2:26 from Eichel and Theodore. So they'll be looking for that kind of number again in these playoffs. And then March 28th, Edmonton spanked them 7-4 in Vegas. So we have already seen the road team win 3 out of 4 during the regular season. It will not be a surprise if the road team does well in this series. Both Edmonton and Vegas, 2 pretty good road teams during the regular season, and that has continued in the postseason. That final game, Kane had the winner at 13:30 of the second period in that wild 7-4 win for the Edmonton Oilers. So the question I have for all you fine people on the internet is simple: who wins this matchup, Vegas or Edmonton? Polls will go up on the channel once all 4 matchups are known, and then we can take a look at what the channel thinks and who the channel's voting for. I think this is going to be close. I think this is going to be a close series. I like Edmonton because their power play is lethal, and I think that they're playing some really good hockey. Not that Vegas is playing badly, and that's why I think this probably ends up going 6 or 7. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.